Alright guys, so we're going to be jumping in here with some top level ULTRON here on Midtown, starting off on offense. Also a familiar face as well too. We got Shostin, of course, rocking the Psylocke with the unfortunate, very unfortunate, that situation right there, unfortunate nerfs to the character, but hopefully he can get some things going on the Psylocke even with the nerfs to the invis. But we're going to be taking a look here at the ULTRON here on Midtown. Pushing out here, trying to get a little bit of space. This is a character, of course, absolutely brand new here to season 2.5, of course. So people are still trying to figure out how it is exactly going to be done with this character. I see a lot of people trying to play him as a ball comp or a death ball, using him and using his drone and staying very close together to get that over shield and also the healing that he provides from his right click and also the drone itself. But he's one of the very interesting things about this character is he has infinite range on his left click. Unfortunately, there he is going to be going down, but with his left click, he has that infinite range. He has the ability to snipe across the map and has very little drop off on his left click. So solid damage, more of an Adam Warlock type of a character. But of course, with his healing, the only real problem, or I'd say the downside to this character with the healing so far, is that you got to be playing very close to your team to get inside that drone healing. The overshield that he provides to himself is okay, but if he gets focused, it's very difficult to stay alive. Here he's going to be popping his ults, just trying to wrap around the corner. An insane amount of healing from that ult as well too. 500 HP per second, which is double what Luna has with her ult. Very good sustained ult as well. Now here, pushing up once again. Also, I was gonna say right here, actually getting ulted, but trying to stay alive. The drone putting in that overtime, but unfortunately not gonna be enough. Shostin trying to hold it down on the side, able to get a couple right there, taking down the Luna, and also the Iron Fist trying to get the Iron Man as well too. Doesn't matter if you're Iron Fist, Iron Man, if you're flying, you're gonna be dying. Just like that, also the enemy ULTRON gonna be going down as well too. So now as Feldero is trying to make his way back to the cart, we're not quite solidified here on point number one. Got the mag on the other side. Another thing that's very interesting as well too for the ULTRON is that with his left click, it does not get absorbed into Mag's ult. So he can still attack him and potentially try to take him down during that situation versus being rendered useless in a situation like that. Unfortunately, losing a couple players right there. Shostin going down, but we're going to get a pick right there on the Iron Fist. Feldero trying to play very close to the ground, playing very close to his Emma as well. The maximum pulse is going to pop, but nobody's going to drop. I think the Emma got her shield up just in time. We have also J3 in this lobby as well on the Strange. Might be going for a portal, not sure. Bro's been switching characters quite a bit. Started on the Hela, went to the Wolverine, to the Strange, and back to the Hela one more time around the world and back again here. Able to get into point number two, pushing up now on the Hela. Let's see what J3 can do here, of course. You know him, you love him. Another content creator. He's kind of diabolical with the shots as well, so kind of a DPS demon, especially on the Hela. I know for a fact that he can be a pretty solid straight shooter here. Unfortunately, though, we do lose our ULTRON. Also, Shostin's going to be going down as well, too. So we're going to need J3 to come up pretty big in the situation, getting the pools down from our Loki, able to stay alive. But now we have the enemy ULTRON just mowing down the squad. Of course, also having the Iron Fist in front and also the Cap on the other side. A good amount of brawl. So, as I was trying to mention as well too with ULTRON, yes, he's a flying character, but he can definitely enable dive. And this is something that we definitely have to touch on now going into season 2.5. A lot of players are insisting or believing that dive is in fact effectively dead moving forward. However, with ULTRON, using his drone, putting it on a main tank or even like an off tank, I'll say like a Thor, if your entire team is coordinated, it's incentivizing your team to dive together and survive together. If you put that drone on a Thor or a Hulk, or maybe even, I'll say an Emma, then if you have a character like that pushing up with the rest of the squad, you definitely can get in there. Of course, Emma not the best dive character, but if you have that central point where players can jump back to them and get that healing relatively quickly, oh my goodness, then they can have the ability to try and dive. As I say right there, speaking of dive, more like die, the entire squad going down. Feldero's gonna go down. Shostin in shambles, running for his life, feeling the nerfs as well. I talked about this earlier. If he has one extra second right there of invis, there's a chance he gets around the corner, but unfortunately he is gonna go down as well too. So here now, J3 still on the Hela with his ult as well, has the ability to try and push up here and try and possibly make something happen. Luna on the other side does have her ult as well too, so we might at the very least force something out, but we definitely want to try and get some value so we can continue to move forward. Feldero in behind here, playing relatively close to his team, keeps on looking behind him, trying to put the drone onto, I think, the rocket, trying to keep him alive from the Cap, running for his life right here. Now, Still getting bullied a little bit. The cap's so low, but he's going to be able to live for a second. The ult's going to pop. Like I mentioned, 500 HP per second. Absolute god mode for his team. Shawson getting a one piece there, taking down the Luna, but unfortunately he is going to fall. We see that on the kill feed. Now, Emma popping her ult. Iron Fist with the stare down. Diabolical at the very least, running for his life now. Iron Man, we see him on the X-ray in behind, but like I had mentioned, the hit scan of this character, if you're someone with really good tracking, that infinite range, the hit scan, it's very satisfying with this character. You can put on a lot of damage. Of course, you're not one-shotting anybody, but you can absolutely clean up kills. And against the squishies with the incentivized team shooting, having a Hela, having even a Black Widow, or even a Jeff now, since his left click also does damage, you can get a lot of really cheeky kills, just getting that little bit of burst at the very end of his left click to take down these enemies at super long range. And you can take these crazy angles as well too. You'll notice he's playing behind the team to try to, of course, survey what's going on and keep everybody alive to the best of his ability. But of course, as a flying healer, very hard to dive him. He has that shield for himself as well. So if he does get dove or attacked by a Spider-Man, he can pop that shield and stay alive. You'd be surprised at that self-sustain of a character that does not really have the ability to heal himself. But as we see, playing close to the drone, you get that extra healing, and you have a chance to dip into there and also dip out. I also want to point out as well too, another big part about this character as well is that when he uses his shift, his left shift, it does give him extra mobility, but it also gives him overshield as well there too. So he has the ability to heal with the drone if he gets inside the range of the drone, but he also has his shift as well to give him overshield, and I think also his right click, the shield that you see. So he has a lot of ways to not really give himself health, but more so just protect himself if he is going to get bursted. It's a very interesting kit that he has. Also, I do love that there's no cooldown on the drone. It's also unkillable. You cannot destroy the drone just like a Luna Snowflake. Unfortunately, speaking of getting destroyed right there, Feldero is going to go down. Now taking a look over at the Psylocke Shawson, popping the Psionic Link for a second. Good combo there onto Shocker, the enemy Ultron, taking him down as well too. Luna up on height, not sure what she's doing in the penthouse suite, all by herself. Shawson on the cart, but he is unfortunately going to go down. J3 now trying to walk it back in with the rest of the crew. We got almost everybody here, just missing Shawson at this point. Getting BRB'd, I believe. Trying to get up on height. Another good shot right there to get the cleanup on the Iron Fist. My God, Iron Man on the other side was absolutely flying, popping and locking, frying and drying. Bro was going crazy trying to survive right there, but it was not going to be quite enough. At this point, looking very good for the offense. As I say it, though, enemy mag popping off. Going to get the bubble on J3. He is going to live. And also Shawson popping and all, taking down both supports on the defense, is trying to get out right here. He has the drone on him as well, too. Great shots right there, but unfortunately, he is going to be going down. But I don't think it's going to make a difference in this situation. Everybody getting slammed on the defense, and we are going to be able to roll it in here for the full 3 points. And now, here we are on defense, and like I mentioned before, I really want to see the flexibility of this character. He's so experimental as far as the range that he can be played. Of course, right here, can be playing a little bit more backline, getting the extra healing, moving that drone around, but playing relatively close to the ground, trying to get the extra damage over the shoulder of his tanks. But also, too, against a character like Groot, he still has the ability to heal around the walls by putting the drone on the players rather than getting walled off by Groot, and now you have no ability to help your team. Right here, though, I will say a lot of players very low. Scary spot for many of them right here. He can pop the shield in about 1 second. Unfortunately, the mag is going to fall. Trying to keep the team alive right now, trying to keep the Emma up. Also, at this point, everybody kind of going backwards. If you're missing your tank, you absolutely do, in fact, have to back up. But the drone is working overtime. Also, the rocket amplifier going to keep us alive for an extra second here. And Feldero is going to pop his ult as well, too. Like I had mentioned, one of the other reasons why I believe that Dive is not going to be dead is because of Ultron's ult. The 500 HP per second that it provides and the damage, but that's one thing. It's the range. He can be on the other side of the map at the highest point of the skybox and still be healing his diving characters like a Venom, or if it's a Hulk or a Thor or a Psylocke on the other side of the map, and just keep them alive with his ult. It's going to be ridiculous once players start to coordinate that to say, okay, we want our Ultron to play super high up, want to have a full survey of the map, and we're going to go in. When we go in, get ready to pop your ult and give us God mode and still be completely safe at the back of the map. It's going to be a very interesting strat to see unfold as players start to play a little bit more here in Season 2.5. Right here, one more time. Now at the back, with the rest of the squad. Let's see what happens here. Popping the shift and the right click, giving the overshield and also the mobility, getting a bit of a dogfight up in the air, but J3 is also going to get the slam there on the Iron Man. Gonna unfortunately here get ulted. Not sure if we're going to be able to live through this. We're going to have ourselves a Season 1 combo with the Groot and the Moon Knight on the other side. Unfortunately, Faldero is going to go down. So now we have Shostin running for his life, but for how long? Unfortunately, he's also going to drop. Everybody going down now. J3 onto the Wolverine. We hear a portal. We're trying to push out to potentially try and touch the point. We do have an opportunity to try and make this. Let's see where Peeps is going to go. We're going to go onto the card immediately, of course. Trying to kidnap the Groot is J3, slicing and dicing, trying to turn him into firewood all over this man. Trying to take him down, but it looks like the Groot is going to survive. I like the play right here. At 3 HP, J3 is going to be able to get out right there, back into the spawn room during the portal while it's still up, get fully healed, and get right back onto the point. Unfortunately, here, going to get walled off, but it looks like he's going to be able to survive. Popping the ult! Not going to be able to get the Groot, but still solid damage. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough in that situation right there, and the entirety of the offense is going to push into point number 2 right here. So now at this point, we have 3 ults on the board. We got Shostin, Faldero, and we also have our rocket amplifier when it is time. I really do like seeing, like I'd mentioned before, I really like seeing how ULTRON can still provide us a ton of value as a strategist, not just a support character, more like an Adam Warlock with the damage, but just going up and over the walls. He does not have to really respect them. Of course, the rest of the team is still Groot that we're talking about, so he has to respect them to a degree here, or they have to respect it to a degree here, but he himself, if they get in the way, he just goes up over top, and provides that shield, provides that drone. We have somebody behind us right here, gonna try and get around the corner, but unfortunately Faldero is gonna go down, but get BRB'd right here, right back into the action, throwing the drone onto Emma, trying to keep them all alive here. Also Shostin popping the ult, another combo, one more time, guys. I don't care what anybody says. Just because we got new characters in here does not mean that Groot is still not a monster. The character is still absolutely a demon right here. Shostin fighting for his life, and unfortunately going to be feeling it right there from the offense. Gonna have to reset. J3 kind of by himself, but of course a long-range character here has the ability to try and put some pepper on, but it looks like we're going to be giving up point number 2 as well. Guys, all of a sudden we're going to be coming down to the wire here. As far as pushing into point number 3, we really don't want to see ourselves in overtime if we can help it. We want to try and get that stop if it is in fact possible. J3 now with his ult, also Peeps, the Emma player, with her ult as well too. Gonna see if they go for a combo of sorts, go for the brainwash to stop the enemy team from saving themselves, and then potentially have J3 pop off. Let's see, we have the enemy Wolverine going crazy right here. Gonna get a right click into him. He's trying to jump out to safety. Solid damage, but he is gonna escape. Also pulls down as well too. Now trying to put that extra damage on, but of course ULTRON on the other side trying to keep everybody up, and his healing is going to surpass literally everything. Of course, I will say to a degree it is a skill shot, especially in the air, but healing players on the ground, it's pretty free to just keep everybody up right there. Still though, amongst the chaos, 4 players going down on the offense, and it's going to get real quiet for a second here. Waiting for the offense to try and regroup and push back out here one more time. Here, we have our drone in the backline on the Loki, so now we have a super Omega God mode, putting on a character that has pools, and of course, another healer as well too. I do like the utility, of course, like I had mentioned, with the drone, you can pass it around to whoever you want, but rather than just AFK putting it on your tank and saying, okay, go to work, have fun, you do have the ability to heal players that are quite close to you, kind of like an invisible woman's shield as well too. Putting on someone close to you, keeping yourself alive by just staying in that healing field and then putting it back onto your tanks if need be. As I say it right here, we are holding it down quite well. Notice too the utility of a ball comp, whether it's on purpose or not. Here goes the ult. Is it going to actually work out for us? He is going to be able to keep basically everybody alive right there. Like I had mentioned, the ult healing is so good and so powerful. Nobody going down to the Moon Knight ult right there, but now we're going to dance off on the point for a second. Also enemy ULTRON popping his ult as well too. Many players going crazy. Oh my, enemy Iron Man taking down 2 players, and all of a sudden Faldero kind of in a terrifying spot, putting the drone onto the mag, but now kiting his own healing, but he kind of has to try to get down. Unfortunately, not going to be able to. Mag is going to live for a second here, but now not looking great. Unfortunately, Mag is going to go down. We see on the kill feed as well too. J3 now trying to hold it down on the front line by himself. Not sure. We have our Cap now meeting up as well here too. Gonna have potentially one final push. 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. And we're trying to get back onto the point. Peeps just trying to be Mr. Annoying himself. Not the player, more so the character. He's trying to touch the point and hold everybody back. J3 also in his ult right here, but everybody around the corner. Not a whole lot you can really do from this position, unfortunately. Trying to get a little bit of that AoE damage around the corner, just trying to pepper and negate people from touching the point. But now Mag popping off one more time. Feldero popping his ult as well too, trying to keep the squad alive. Enemy ULTRON is going to go down to J3. Unfortunately, we're going to be losing Feldero there. Shawson, the situation. He has a health pack behind him if he needs it. Of course, we're missing a strategist. We also got a, I was going to say, Iron Man with the snowflake on his head. Basically God mode. Unless you're fighting J3 one more time. My goodness, what is J3 doing, bro? Got 2 players back to back right there. And now everybody getting rolled all the way back. They got 14 seconds of playtime here. Also going to get portals. Or they have a portal here to the point, rather. Up onto height. I think we see Strange up on the 2nd floor. The Moon Knight ult's going to pop one more time. We also have the Luna ult going crazy as well. J3 trying to hold it down from the backline. This is free beams for him since everyone's facing forward. They have no idea that he's there. Trying to get those free shots. Now Strange finally turning around, trying to protect the team from J3 on the other side. Getting kind of corralled here, going up into the penthouse suite. Unfortunately, not going to make the jump, but Shawson now popping his ult right here. Going to get one, taking on the Spider-Man. Now everybody getting shoved down into the theater. Just for a second here, Thing on the point, Iron Man on the point, just trying to escape, get a little bit of healing from the drone as well too. One more player on, looks like Thing is on also. Enemy ULTRON going to keep everybody alive one more time. Shawson with a great combo, but it's not going to be enough, unfortunately, during the ult of ULTRON. Gonna get the health pack one more time here. We see Strange on, the entire squad making their way back on. Only one player on here, scaring away the Iron Man, I believe. Shawson now. We have the Agamotto on the other side. Many players. An absolute shambles. Spider-Man super low. We got pools on, trying to fight for our life. We lost Feldero, but many players on the offense rather going down. It's going to be everybody right there going to cap the point and take the game in a 3-2 fashion. And guys, just like that, Shawson, although Psylocke with the nerfs in season 2.5, he is going to be the MVP with 45 kills, 14 deaths, a lot of death on both sides, 17 deaths on the other side from the Iron Man. But Shawson here, 45 and 14, a 4-piece and 26 final hits. My goodness, it's going to be very interesting to see. Like I had mentioned, I don't believe that Dive is going to be dead here. It's very interesting to see how the drone is going to play into these players who are jumping in super deep. We saw the sustainability, although the healing is not crazy. In a lot of cases, it's going to be just enough, especially for a Dive character who's used to having no heals. There's not going to be any way to complain in the situation now with having the drone of ULTRON on those divers, but we're going to have to see what happens in the very near future. But altogether, very good stuff coming out to the entire team.